Good day and welcome back once again. This time we will be discussing with return type and without passing parameter in the user-defined function. By the way, in the previous discussion, I forgot to show you the flowchart for solution number 2. So for solution number 2, this is how our flowchart will look like. So in the main, this is the variable declaration, num1 and num2. The input is in main, so input n1 and n2, and then you will call the function. And then upon calling the function, if it has parameter, you need to put an arrow sideways and then put a process for the declaration of your parameter. And then start with the variable declaration and then the process. So these are the process and then this is the output. Okay, process, output. So this is the flowchart for without return type and with passing parameter. So let us continue with our solution number 3. So for problem number 3, syntax number 3 for user-defined function, function with return type and without passing parameter. So in this type of function declaration, input and process is in the user-defined function and output is in main. So here, the syntax will be the return type will not be void. It should be any data type, example, an integer, a float, a double, a character, or any other data type as long as it will not be void. And then you have the space, the function name, and remember it says here without parameter, therefore inside the parentheses, you don't need to put anything. Again, input and process is in the user-defined function and output is in main. Let's take note of that. So let's declare our function here, int. Again, we should have a return type now, but not void. Highest. But here, it will be tricky here. We cannot use the highest anymore because the rule for overloading is that you need to change the parameter. If I write it like this, we are not changing the parameter. This declaration is almost similar to this declaration. Okay? In overloading, you don't need to look for the left side or the return type. What you need to look for is the parentheses, what is inside the parentheses. That's why it has a red line because it doesn't follow now the rule for function overloading. So for this one, we need to really change the name of the function. So let's just call it highest num. Or you can call it any name you like. Again, we cannot use the function overloading for this type because the rule for function overloading is that you need to change the number of parameters. And then, let's declare the function here. Int highest num. So what does it mean if it says with return type? Therefore, before you end the program, you need to return something. In this case, the value that we need to return is the value of the highest number. And the highest number is with the variable high. Okay, so we need to return high. But aside from high, let's go back to our lecture material. We need the input and process inside the user-defined function. So let's go back in our code. Here we have cout. Again, need to type input first number. N1. So this is our input now. And then this is N2. Second number. So we have our input. Let me just have the comment here. So input. And then this is our process. So in the process, we just need to add something. Because in here, we need to pass the output from the user-defined function going to our main function. So this will be the process. If N1 is greater than N2. High equals N1. Again, output should be in main, so you don't need to write here C out. Else if N2 greater than N1, high equals N1. N2. And then else, so we cannot put here C out. C out should be inside the main function. So in here, we need to add another variable to determine if the two numbers are equal. So I need to add, so this will be the first time that you will see this variable. So I need to add a Boolean variable. I will just call it as equal val. So this is the variable name. Okay. And then, in here, if the two numbers are equal, I will make that variable equal to true. Meaning, it satisfies the condition that the two numbers are equal. Okay? So, review. Inside the user-defined function now, we have the input and the process. And then, it needs to return the value. So, let's go to main. So, in main, this is where the output will happen. So here, we need to initialize our variable equal val. Initially equal to false because it doesn't test yet whether the two numbers are equal. As if you are initializing a number to 0. So similar to 0, false is equal to 0. Next is, have a condition here. So if equal val, so what does it mean? If equal val will become true, we need to output the two numbers. Oh, let me just check the message that I typed earlier. The highest number, the two numbers are equal, so that they will have a uniform message. Two numbers are equal. So this is what will happen. I initially make the value of equal val variable to false, and then if I call the function highest num, and in that condition, equal val will become true, it will display the two numbers are equal. If not, we need to put here C out the highest. Again, I will just check the message that I have typed in earlier. This one. The highest number entered is high. So let us check it. So what will happen? I will just discuss it when we see the output screen. So let's just check it first with the two numbers being equal. So I will input 3. Then I will input the first number 8. Second number also 8. So this is what happened now. In case 3, we initialize the value of equal val to false. And then we call the function. So let's go to the function. So in this function, I have entered the two number. So I have entered 8. And for N2, I also entered 8. So upon checking in the condition, is 8 greater than 8? No. Is 8 greater than 8? No. Therefore, it will go to else. Wherein, true now will become the new value of the variable equal val. And then, it will return the value of high in the calling function. So let us have that. This one, I haven't got it yet. So let us check our main. So it displays here the two numbers are equal. Why is that? Because when it goes back to the main function, this false now will change to true because in the condition in the user-defined function, the last the last part, which is this one, is being satisfied, wherein the equal val now will be equal to true. That's why it displays here the two numbers are equal. Now, there will be a problem here if the two numbers are not equal. I need to change the function call. In the function call for case 3, it should look like this. It should have something on the left side. So here, okay, because it needs to return a value. So let us simulate it in the output screen. So let us try function number 3 again. I will input first number, second number 34. So this is what will happen. So the first number that I entered is 5. 5 greater than 34? No. 34 greater than 5? Yes. Therefore, 35 now is the new value of the variable I. So it says here, return high. So if it says here, return high, there should be some variable that will get that value. And in this case, the value 34 that comes from highest function will now be assigned to the variable high. Okay? Therefore, when you output the highest number, the value of the variable high is now equal to 34. So let's check that in our output screen if it will give you the correct answer. So here, the highest number entered is 34. Okay? So before we end this presentation, so how will the flowchart look like for this type of function declaration? So it is presented in here. Okay. So for this type of function declaration, we declare the following global variable, n1, n2, n high, as well as the equal val variable, which is boolean. And then we initialize equal val to false. We call the function, and it should have a variable on the left side because we have a return value. And then if equal val, if it will become true, it will output the two numbers are equal and then go to stop. If the two numbers are not equal, it output high. Okay? So let's go to the user-defined function. So this is how it will look like. Highest and then start. And then input n1 and n2. Take note also, same with parameter, return type should be placed side by side with the predefined process symbol. So you will put return high in here, not before the end of your flowchart. So if num1 is greater than num2, so your highest number is equal to n1. And then if n1 is correction here, so this should be num1 greater than num2. And then highest number is n1. And then if num2 is greater than n1, highest number is n2. Okay? So I just put the connector here because I don't have any spaces in here. That's why I continue my flowchart on this side of the Word document file. So that's it for the solution for problem or syntax number 3 with return type and without passing parameter.